Greetings, people, and welcome to Good Evening Nigeria. And of course, a happy democracy in areas to Nigerians all over the world. On the show tonight, I like to quickly take a look at two important bills that have been signed into law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Of course, you know this is his second week in office, and so far so good. He has assented to two bills that have been passed even before he became the president of Nigeria. First was the Electricity Bill or Act of 2023 that he assented to last weekend, and the second one is the Student Loan Act that he equally assented to yesterday, shortly after the Democracy Day celebration. I'll take a look at them one after the other. The Electricity Law of 2023. What does this law hold for Nigeria? Nigerians rather, how are these laws going to affect the common man or common men on the street of Nigeria? The electricity law of 2023 seeks to repeal or take over the 2005 Electricity and Power Reform Act. Now, what this law holds for Nigeria is that in the coming weeks, months, and years, Nigerians will now have surplus of electricity. Those areas that have been underserved by the national grid will now have other areas to rely on, just like the green energy, that is the solar energy and energy from the wind. Now, what is exactly this law? Now, what this law did is to demonopolize or to take or to decentralize the generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity in Nigeria. Of course, you know, since onset, only the federal government can generate, distribute, and transmit electricity. But with these laws, the state government cannot do the same thing. Companies cannot also generate, distribute, and transmit electricity on their own. Private individuals can even do it. So it has become demonopolized now. It is not a business for only the federal government alone this time around. For the state government, all they have to do is for their state houses of assembly to pass the electricity business laws, and then with that they can kick off. They can even give license to private individuals to invest in electricity in their various states. Then for private individuals and companies, all they need is a license from the National Electricity Regulatory Commission, and they start producing, they start generating, distributing, and transmitting electricity to people who want it across the country. This will supplement what we are getting from the federal government. I think it's a welcome development, and of course, and of course, the law seeks to prioritize solar and wind source of energy, and those who are producing energy or electricity through solar system, they will now also get a special tariff. That's a kind of special pay that alone we encourage private investors to come into our power sector and invest into solar system. Then yesterday, another act, which is the Student Loan Act or Access to Education Act, was also signed into law. Now, what does this hold for Nigeria? What it holds for Nigerians or Nigerian students is that you can no longer say it is because of school fees that you didn't go to higher institution. So you can actually go to higher institution regardless of a background right now. All you need to do is to get loan from the federal government. What are the criteria? First, you just need to get a civil servant and a lawyer to sign for you. A civil servant with at least who has gotten to level 12 in the civil service. Then a lawyer who has been practicing for no less than 10 years. Serve as your guarantor. Then you are able to access this loan from the federal government. Of course, you know, student loan commission is going to be set up. That will be at the Central Bank of Nigeria, and you access it. Once the loan has been approved, what will happen is that this commission will send the money to your school direct. They are not going to give you the money cash. They will only send it to your school direct to pay for your school fees. Now, the loan is only going to cover your school fees and not your feeding or transport and other things that you need to do. Other things you need to do, you would need to source that by yourself. Now, who is to benefit from this loan? Only students from federal and state universities can benefit from this loan. If you're in a federal university, if you're in a private university rather, you can't benefit from this loan. And also, people who have annual salaries of more than 500,000 naira can also benefit. So it's actually for children of a middle class. So that is for that. Then, where will the federal government get this money for financing of this student loan? Very simple. The Act has provided that 1% of the revenue from different agencies in Nigeria would be used to finance this loan, like the custom, what is it called, FIRSC, NAPC. All the revenue they generate every year, 1% of them would be used to finance this loan. And as I speak to you, if you get 1% of their revenues, this scheme is going to kick off with over 200 billion naira. And what it means is that over 2 million students could get loan for a year. So it's a very welcome development. But how do you pay back? This is where patriotism comes in, because a lot of Nigerians only want to pay back after getting the loans. Now, you are expected to pay back 2 years after graduation when you start working. Now, if after 2 years of graduation at NYC you've not started working, there is no problem. Nobody is going to disturb you. But as soon as you start working, all you need to do is to pay through pension commission or any other, maybe federal, any other government body saddled with the responsibility of collecting taxes. So they will liaise or work with your company wherever you are working, whether private or government, and keep the deducting 10% of your salary every month. That is how you are going to pay back. But for those maybe who may go into businesses or get jobs and be hiding and not want to pay, you are liable to 2 years imprisonment if you are caught. But if you are not working, you've not gotten a job, nobody is going to disturb you. That is all I can tell you about the student loan for the now. For me, it's a welcome development, and it's an opportunity every young Nigerian should jump into. I'll keep updating you on some of these laudable policies of President Tinubu. My name is Richard Agolo. Bye.